Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
It's a new one. I wanted to make that edit since last week, and I got around to it this morning. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where you, the audience, are in control. It should be an interesting one today, because once more I have fulfilled my requirements that you have paid for. Yes, I did watch Ice Cube War of the Worlds 2025. Oh, that's a piece of work. It's a piece of work. So I'll do my live on-stream review of that in a little bit. And we'll do that in a little bit later on. That's my segment. I got nothing else. I was going to complain about and make fun of the whole Bella Downsy Spider-Man thing, but everybody else already did that. So what's the point? My jokes are going to be replayed. No, listen, I was going to integrate the trailer you and Prof made, but I played it yesterday on Roundtable to torture Dre and Jed, and I got hit. The Enya theme, I got blocked in some places. So that is not, we cannot play that. We cannot play that on stream anymore, unfortunately, because the Enya not just claimed, blocked. That's how that it's one thing we get claimed, it's another when we get blocked because of the thing. So that one has to go. So you got to find something else. Yeah. So but you will be happy to know that both Jed and Dre wanted to claw their eyes out, and Jed said his day is ruined forever. Dre was wondering, Dre was happy that he'd already fathered a son because he didn't know he was worried that his, wouldn't be able to do that anymore after watching that clip. So you guys have you guys achieved destruction of mental capacity with that. All right. I think this must be in reference to the party animals incident over the weekend. Prof has realized that he may have been working too hard to try and make me suffer with the games. And that because the party animals, that was bad. That I hated. I was not pretending. I hated every second of playing that. And I still owe you guys 3.5 hours of party animals play. I mean, listen, I understand what's going to happen now. I owe you guys 3.5 hours. Whenever they decide to schedule another one, it means I have to show up. And I know that we're doing it. It's never going away. I understand this. It's never going away. You guys will just keep adding more time to it as we go forward. I am aware that I'm falling through the abyss that is party animals. I will never hit the bottom and end this pain and suffering. So it's bad. It's bad. I will have to suffer because I hated it. I hated every second of it. I was miserable. That game is retarded. It is dumb. The better you try to be at it, the worse you get. And I'm someone who takes pride in being good at playing games. I'm trying to make the goddamn thing work, and it doesn't want to. These controls don't want to work. So, yeah, I hated every second of it. And I'm never gonna. I'm always gonna have to play it every goddamn time they happen. I'm gonna have to play it because you assholes are gonna add more and more time to it. I know that's what's gonna happen. So, party animals. Until I decide to end this particular grift, I'm stuck with it. No. Here's why I won't do that. Because those who have already paid to have that time, which I have to still do, that's not fair to them. They've already paid for that time. So I'm going to leave it locked in at $10 or 30 minutes because it's a number that people will easily get around, comprehend, and like that. So I'm going to leave it at that because those who've already paid the $10 for 30 minutes, it's not fair to them to the next person. I think that makes more sense. It's not fair to the next person who has to pay more for the same amount of time somebody else already paid for. So I'm just trying to be fair about it. That's why I'm going to leave the price as it is. Yeah. I didn't love it at all. It was terrible. Well, I mean, I know there was some lag early on in the stream. I think I fixed that because nobody complained about lag once I paused it in the studio window. You could see it on my. I mean, listen, I was quiet most of the time. I was letting everybody else provide the, I guess, everybody else was providing the commentary as they were playing, and I was just sitting. Because I feel like that was better than trying to fake it or anything else. Me just showing how miserable I was what you all paid for. You're not paying for me to have fun with that. You're paying for me to suffer. And I'm aware of it. And it's my lot right now. And I have to accept it and go with it. It's just what it is. So, yeah. Party animals. Looks like I'm stuck with it. At least I got it on sale. Anyway, so what do we got today? As I said, we've got the maybe. I feel like $10 is reasonable is the thing. I feel like it's reasonable for 30 minutes. And I don't want to grift too hard and have my grasp exceed my reach. I feel like the $10 is just a reasonable thing. Anyway, all right. So as I said, I have nothing else in mind at the moment. So as we go forward, we will do my live on stream review of War of the Worlds 2025. I will just with the preview now. It's cringe and stupid. And doesn't make a lot of sense. It really doesn't. After that, we'll do the news. I feel like these slow news days are going to continue for a while. Everything's on repeat. I mean, I don't want to repeat the shit we talked about on Roundtable yesterday because I'm still first going to release some of the clips from Roundtable yesterday. So I don't know what else to do in terms of those things. So we'll do our best with the news. And of course, the rules are as follows because they are not going to change for the time being. $5 to order an Adam rant on anything relatively normal, nothing outside our regular purview. As we just talked about, $10 to rent me for 30 minutes to play a video game of your choosing, but I have to already own it. $10 to have me answer a question or a discussion topic. Adam, what do you think of this? Adam, what do you think of that? It can be serious or silly. We've done them many times. They lead to some good stuff here and there. $15 to have me react live, hot take without any preparation to an article you may see us go over or one you may be sitting on because I'm okay with that. It may be something you're dying to have me react to. $20 to make me watch a video. I'm sure their lists are made. I know some of you are going down lists at this point that you've compiled because it's a very, very fair thing when it comes to videos online. It's like a 90% chance I haven't watched it because I don't scour YouTube for things to watch. I'm pretty routine in what I watch on YouTube. And then, of course, $30 to have me do a live on-stream review of a movie or an episode of television. Today, that will be War of the Worlds 2025. But as always, got to give me a couple days to get it done. And yeah, I got to admit, last night, I was getting ready for bed. And I thought, wait a minute. Shit, I haven't watched this movie yet. So I watched it at 1.5 speed, and I cannot imagine watching War of the Worlds 2025 at regular speed. It still took too long at 1.5 speed. And here's the thing. Sometimes when you play something at 1.5 speed, you can't understand what people are saying. I clearly still understood what everybody's saying. That means in that movie, they must have been speaking really, really slowly and moving really, really slowly. Because for a minute, I thought, wait a minute, did it reset itself? It doesn't feel like it's going at 1.5 speed. Yes, it was going at 1.5 speed and everything was still intelligible. That means that movie must have been spoken, shot, produced at such a slow speed that at 1.5 speed, it still feels normal. That's how bad it was. But we'll talk about that. And I'll repeat that for for that segment there. So there we go. There we go. That's what I got right now. Oh man, you know what's the psychotic thing about Hello Kitty? She's not actually a kitty. She's just I've read the lore on this shit, okay? Hello Kitty is not actually a cat girl. She's just a little girl who's deformed and looks like a cat. She's not actually a cat. That's the psychotic thing about Hello Kitty. She's not a cat. She's not a cat. That's the thing. Now, what I do know is that you guys are now planning Minecraft. Oh, I have avoided playing that for 20 years. Oh, it feels like, no, it's probably more like 16 years. I've avoided playing that for 15, 16 years. When people have wanted me to play, it's like, oh, dude, we set up our server ready to go. Don't you want to come in and build it? No. So it's bad. I know you guys do that. You're gonna. I mean, here's the thing. This baby shark. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You need to go update your bot software. Oh, man, don't make me play Minecraft. It's dumb. See, Kratos has found his line. Kratos has found his line. My pain sustains him. I suffer for entertainment, but even he's not gonna make me do that. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that to you. I'll make you watch the worst shit on YouTube possible to melt your brain, but no, I'm not even he's like, I'm not gonna make you play Minecraft. That's not gonna happen. I will take no part in this. That's how bad Minecraft is. For as far as 2020 World War 2025, yeah. I mean, I want to save it for after the news segment, but yeah. Anyway, all right. So why don't we dive into the news? Why don't we dive right into news? Because I got no other things to mess around with. I've got nothing else to mess around with in terms of commentary or stuff like that because it's Monday. Nothing's happened yet. And I have no thoughts. Like I said, I was going to make fun of Bella Downsy. And then your guys are buffering. I mean, I'm looking at studio. It seems to be fine. I don't see any lag on studio. So looks like that. Please, I'm going to say, please don't make me play Minecraft. I'm serious. Please don't make me play Minecraft. I really don't want to play Minecraft. I really don't want to. Please don't do that. All right, let's get through the news. I'm gonna refresh everything real quick because it has been a little while. We're still stuck on this nightmare thing where I have to use Chrome tab for everything. Okay, news. Let's see where we go here. On Variety. America's Sweethearts. Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders renewed for season 3 at Netflix. They don't get naked. I don't care. I don't care. They don't get naked. At least I assume they don't. I've never watched it. I'm just assuming they don't get naked. 40 seconds behind. Jeez. I don't know. It's got to be YouTube. It's not. I don't think it's me. I got no signal problems on StreamYard today, so I don't know what's going on with the buffering. All right. Let's see. White Lotus star Scott Glenn found a kindred spirit in Mike White. Let's be unpredictable together. Big Bear Film Festival slate includes openers Big Bear movie and Wingman plus John Candy documentary. Man, I've never seen a picture of a not fat John Candy. That's kind of weird. I don't give a fuck about Ben Stiller or anything he does. He is overrated, not funny. His father was funny. Jerry Stiller was funny. Ben Stiller has never been funny. Never. Fight me. Fight me. Apple Watch Series 10, how to get smartwatch with new blood oxygen tracking feature online. I've never understood the whole smartwatch thing. I really have not understood that. Why do you want this tiny little thing on your wrist? You go, with the screen. I never understood that. I've never understood these stupid smartwatch shit. I just don't. I don't even wear a watch anymore. I haven't worn a watch in like a decade. I don't wear a watch anymore because I have my phone. It has a clock on it. And I know that's how Adam, you're relying on your digital tool. Yeah, I am. Because a watch it's become uncomfortable on this. A bidding category? I feel as good an idea as it is for a grift algorithm, I feel like that's a step too far. I feel like that's a step too far. I mean, I don't want to. The reason we set up the tier of donations as they are, the tip tier, is because it's reasonable and there's options. And all of the options here. I know, man. I know, but I feel like it's not fair to force that kind of competition. Because I'm already uncomfortable as it is with the grifts that I do. So it's not. I don't want to do what I consider an unreasonable grift. I'm already. We know I'm already uncomfortable asking you guys for money, as for money as it is. I am uncomfortable doing that. I always have been. It's one thing to get something where you guys will just give me a super chat of this and that, but directly asking you for this stuff, I've always been uncomfortable with it, and this is as far as I am willing to go at this point in terms of setting a tier. I can't do it. My integrity does not allow it. I can only go so far as a grifter. I can only go so far. These are my current limits. And we'll be on. And I will be honest. There will come a day when, if this particular show grows in size and viewership, and you guys at a certain point, this particular tier of donations, it will become unreasonable. Because if the show grows and 10 people drop $20 tips for videos, we'd be here all day. So there's going to come a time when this is going to change. In the here and the now, with the small audience we have, it works. But there will come a time where we will change how this show works down the line if it grows and we have a larger audience. But at the moment, this is how much I can do. We'll we'll adjust it, and we'll adjust it as you guys see fit, because everything I do on this show is for your entertainment. That's why, in the end, I don't feel bad, because Kratos is right. What we're doing here, you guys are thoroughly entertained by how I react to these things, because it's out of my control. And that's the funny part. And at a certain point, if the show grows, which of course I hope it does, I hope that we have, hopefully, like tens of people, eventually maybe hundreds of people, maybe one day even thousands of people watching at one time. I hope that happens. So we're going to have to change the rules of the donation tier system in order to reflect it. I mean, maybe they'll just have to be a window of when it happens, because I don't want to have to delay doing it. And sometimes people just want to super chat and they don't ask anything, because sometimes some people will super chat something and they're not demanding any sort of connection to the tier. They just want to donate that to say something like a normal super chat or a normal Stream Elements tip. So we're going to have to find a balance down the road. But as it is right now, everything works because it is a small audience and you guys are happy with the way it goes. But so we will adjust as time goes on. As right now, though, we're going to keep the things as they stand. All right. So already coming out of Apple Watch. Real Housewives of London stars on bringing the franchise across the pond and kicking off drama-filled first season with Teethgate. I can feel the tension. It's palpable. Yes, just what we need. More scripted reality television. It's just what we need. Just what we need. So is YouTube misbehaving? I'm still seeing you guys talking about buffering and stuff like that, because it can't be. It's not me. It's not me. I have no. StreamYard is behaving today. I don't think it's me. I didn't have any problems watching anything this morning yet, so I don't know what's going on. I hope you guys are gonna get through it. I do, because part of the show works when you guys are watching in real time. Deborah Norville to receive. I don't know who that is. Emmy voters, start your engines. Final voting opens for. Who cares about the Emmys? Who cares? I don't care. Nobody cares because the ratings keep dropping. I did hear that YouTube is trying to bid for airing. No, that's the Oscars. That was the Oscars. Sorry, never mind. YouTube is bidding to try and host the Oscars. Family Matters star working on animated. Oh, Jesus Christ. Working on animated reboot idea. It's pretty far along and sitting in Warner Brothers' hands right now. Why? Why? I mean, Family Matters was great in the 90s. It was great where it was in the 80s and the 90s. Why are we doing this? Why? I asked the question, why are we doing this? It was perfectly fine for what it was. I mean, Family Matters had one of those things that was very amusing, where you could see the entire original cast right here. At some point in time, the second daughter just vanished from the show because they never gave her any stories, never did anything. She just vanished without explanation. She just disappeared. It's one of those sitcom mysteries. What happened to the second daughter? Poof, gone. Disappeared without explanation. Never said, oh, we sent her to boarding school, which of course they couldn't because they were a middle-class black family. But I mean, where did the second daughter go? She just vanished. Gone. Never existed, never referenced, never spoken of. I think her name was Judy. Was her name Judy? I want to say her name was Judy. I don't know. That was one of the mysteries. Little kid. I'm watching Family Matters, and suddenly I realized, wow, she's gone. Kratos, you do know that Carl Winslow, played by Reginald B. Johnson, he was a cop, right? You do know that, right? He was a cop. You do know that Reginald V. Johnson, Carl Winslow was a cop, right? Please tell me you knew that. Please tell me you knew that. She'll remember her auntie in Bel Air. Different channels. Family Matters was on ABC. Fresh Prince of Bel Air was NBC. Dude, you got dude, trust me. I watched everything when I was a kid. The Family Matters was part of was it the Wednesday? Yeah, was it TGIF or was it the Wednesday block? I suddenly don't remember. I'm trying to remember. I think Family Matters was the Wednesday block for comedy. Okay. I'm just checking. I'm just checking. I wanted to make sure you weren't pulling a cloud. Okay, I wanted to make sure we weren't pulling a cloud, and just didn't know because you never watched it. I have to be sure. Yeah, but so I mean, Family Matters was a good show. And problem with Family Matters is that at first it was about the family, and then it became the Steve Urkel show. Then it became the Steve Urkel show, because for a while they had a thing there. It's like, okay, everybody likes the Jaleel White nerding it up and not being himself. And then it got harder and harder as time went on, and it just jumped the shark terribly. But listen, you guys appreciate it. One of the worst episodes was at one point Steve created the machine where he could change himself, and that's how Stefan Urkel became a thing. And at one point, he was getting beat up by a bunch of street thugs, so he rewrote his DNA to be Bruce Lee. The problem was you had Jaleel White, and here's where I'm going to say, and I'm talking about this because it's sort of relevant to current pop culture stuff with the Power Rangers stuff going on in Fortnite. They brought in Jason David Franks to be the head of the thugs. And they had Steve Urkel transformed into Steve Bruce Lee fight Jason David Franks in the show. And I was like, no, don't do that to Tommy. I'm watching something and thinking, man, don't do that to Tommy. What are you doing? No, he's the White Ranger. Don't do that. No. And he beat him. I was like, man, that's just wrong. It's wrong. It was dumb. I hated that thing. I hated that thing. I hated that. So that always bugged me. And I've actually been thinking about that lately with all the Power Ranger Fortnite stuff happening. That's why this is fresh on my mind. I know. That's a thing. And then at one point, like Steve, so there was the battle of who's going to take control, Stefan or Steve. And then because Steve always wanted Laura Winslow, but then he had Myra, who was way hotter than Laura. She was way hotter. And at one point, Laura couldn't choose, so Steve made the machine split them into they became two separate beings, Stefan and Steve. The fact that I know all this shit hurts my brain a little bit. But again, this is the thing. I watched all this shit, and I could talk about the Family Matters storylines. I could talk about the Growing Pains storylines. I could talk about step-by-step storylines for an extent. I try to wipe that one from my brain. I hated that one. Watched it too long. I could talk about all these dumbass storylines from all these sitcoms of that era because I watched them all as a kid. I was there every night. The family-friendly ones. Then as I grew up, you watch the adult ones. You watch the Frasers and stuff like that. You get older, the Friends, things like that. But I watched it all, man. Watched it all. And that was a good era of television, is what it was. It was a good era of television. People enjoyed themselves. And they were fine. And the thing about Family Matters is that it never, why it does rank up there as one of the greats is because it never overstepped. It never overstepped and tried to preach at you. Because never once did it occur to me I'm a white guy watching a black family. Never occurred to me once because they never preached at me about blackness. They just told entertaining, family-friendly stories about a family. And it was all right. And there was a point in time as, puberty hit, and I was like, yeah, I want to F Aunt Rachel. I want to F Aunt Rachel as puberty started to kick in. It's like, yeah, I want to do that. Puberty kicked in. Anyway. All right. Let's move on. Yeah. I know that, yeah, great work for Jason David Franks. I just didn't like seeing Tommy get his ass kicked by Steve Urkel. I just didn't like that. It bugged the hell out of me. Let's see. You're right, asthmatic. They knew what they were doing. It was still that era of we're trying to pass on good, normal storylines that are teaching you things. Don't steal, don't do this, don't do that. I just thought of Different Strokes. Talk about the PDF file episode. Yeah, don't get attacked by old white toy store owners. Oh man, I've seen too much. I've seen too much. Still going back. Newsmax is settled with the Dominion voting lawsuit. Banny J America's new label of Fabrica. I don't care about that. Best ergonomic desk chairs. No, screw those ergonomic desk chairs. They don't fit me anyway. Lindsey Sterling announces Show Waltz 2022 is. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who these people are. I'm old. Old it out of touch. Pete Davidson, Leslie Jones, Lorraine. There should be Lorraine Newman or Lorraine Newman. Rachel Dratch and others recall their favorite SNL 50 moments. Yeah, they spelled Lorraine Newman wrong. SNL 50. Forget it. Glenn Close to play Ruthless Killer in Channel 4 drama Maude. Sure. MSNBC rebranding as MS Now draws derision confusion. You know what that is? I bet that's somebody at Comcast Universal saying, "Yeah, pull the letters NBC out of MSNBC. It's time to distance." That's my guess. Looking at this from a logical perspective. The Diplomat star David Gyasi to play enslaved man and celebrated poet George Moses Horton in The Bard. Sure. Triple Mania 33 breaks multiple records with WWE AAA stars in the ring. I don't watch wrestling anymore. I don't even know what's going on there. AI-driven Hanuman film and works at India's. Oh, don't care about that. Ricky Martin, he's gay. I don't care. Ozzy Osbourne documentary pulled from BBC schedule. Hours were broadcast. Huh. Wonder what that's about. Let's go a little deeper. Yeah, Microsoft Now, because see, Kratos knows it was called MSNBC because of Microsoft. That was the thing back in the day. Yeah, that was the thing. Already adjusted on me there. Pedro Internet Daddy Pascal attends HBO Max Emmy nominee celebration in Los Angeles. Jenna Ortega premieres Wednesday in Australia, and more celeb photos. Yeah, Jenna Ortega still looking like a mutant right now. Still looking like a mutant. I've seen the photos. The Diplomat sets season 3 release date at Netflix. Never even heard of that show. Never even heard of it. Anna Brunn, the first Paraguayan actress to win a Berlinale. Whatever. Not going to try. Anything interesting here? San Francisco's openings, Hidden Island sci-fi thriller, co-penned by Case creator Julio Rojas. Jane Campion, Sofia Coppola, Alfonso Cuarón, and more to deliver Venice Film Festival classes. Oh, shut the fuck! All right, here's the thing. Sofia Coppola, one of the biggest fucking nepo babies ever. She doesn't have talent, but her daddy is Francis Ford Coppola. So of course she gets every door open for her. She's not talented. Giant nepo baby, has no business behind a camera, none. And they should have cast Winona Ryder in Godfather 3 instead of her. She was terrible in Godfather. And I like people who shit on Godfather 3, I will fight you. Godfather 3 is a good movie. You just have to understand the Godfather trilogy to understand it. It's hip to say, oh, hey, damn Godfather 3. It's hip to hate on that. No, it's actually a good movie. But she's terrible in it. She's horrible in it. And she only got it because she was the director's daughter. Should have been Winona Ryder. That was the original thing. If they'd been Winona Ryder, would have been so much better. Netflix's The Great Flood Among Korean Cinema Today lineup at Busan Film Festival Global Bulletin. Sure. Ian McKellen says Gandalf and Frodo will return in Andy Serkis's Hunt for Gollum. Apart from that, my lips are sealed. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. This movie's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to make Hunt for Gollum. It is. I don't think it's going to go over well with the Tolkien faithful. I really don't. They don't want this. They don't want it. Bob Odenkirk says a Better Call Saul revival would have to take place inside prison. He's not getting out. I don't watch that franchise. So, yeah, not interested. Venice, Toronto, don't care. Let's see if anything else interesting here. Helen Mirren says James Bond has to be a guy. I'm such a feminist, but you can't have a woman. Just doesn't work. I detect only truths with that statement. Only truths. Anything else interesting here as we go into the wee hours? Not really. That's it. Moving on to IGN. What we got here? We just saw that one. Here's a teasing glimpse of Cody Rhodes' Guile on Street Fighter movie set. Ugh. I don't know. No. Bandai Namco is remastering another Tales game, and it sure likes Tales of Xillia. I never played Xillia. I've only played some of the Tales games early on. Then I stopped for a long time. Then I played the most recent ones, dating back to Zestiria. From there forward, I played. So I never played Xillia, but I'm not really interested. Not really interested at all. I have a love-hate relationship with the Tales games, and it's still a love-hate. Very much a love-hate. Get ready for Battlefield 6 with 2042's free Road to Battlefield 6 pass. Yeah, I'm still not sold on that one. I would need a lot more convincing to play. Fallout Season 2's first look images reveal New Vegas Strip and what's next for Lucy Max and Hank McLean. Yeah, I guess we're going to have... Here's the problem. I will likely watch Fallout Season 2, but they're going to batch drop it, which means any proper discussion is going to be fucked up again. The discussion was all fucked up for it last time, and they're going to fuck it up again with a batch drop. So I will watch it just so that I can take part in the conversation, but it's no point in reviewing it because it won't work. Fucking batch drops. I hate it. As a content creator, I hate it. Shenmue 3 Enhanced announced as most refined version of Ryo Hazuki's epic journey. I never played Shenmue 1 and 2. Never got around to that. Nintendo Direct announced for tomorrow focused on Kirby Air Riders. All right, could somebody explain to me, does anybody really care about Kirby outside of select few Nintendrones? Because I've always found Kirby to be retarded. Oh, I suck in the world. I'm OP and I transform. And I mean, I don't need a story about a little pink puffball with the ultimate no gag reflex. Really not interested. Not at all. Not at all. Turns out we've been saying this Pokemon's name wrong all these years. Lost on me. Moving on. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers player hits back at censorship patch by rolling back to previous version. Censorship bad. Censorship bad. I agree. World War I Gallipoli announced taking FPS series to Middle Eastern front. So what, are we going to fight Turks? Going to fight the Turks? Going to be Lawrence of Arabia? Huh? Is that what we're going to do? First Descendant dev response to AI TikTok advert backlash. Okay. Xmas Star reflects on terrible experience shooting X2, says Avengers Doomsday Return really healing. Shut up, Cumming. Shut up. I don't want to hear from you. You're a psychopath. Or you did the Helen Mirren thing. New Battlefield 6 leak shows big maps are on the way. James Gunn Superman launches towards 600 million box office, unlikely to surpass Man of Steel's 670 million. We talked about all that stuff yesterday. If I will be clipping it out if you missed it. There will be our discussion about the propaganda campaign surrounding the box office and the budget of all this and how I am right. Remember that. I was right. 550 to 650. I was right. That's all that matters in the end. Gandalf Frodo somehow return. Home for Gone. We already talked about that. Pokemon XP fan celebration event coming to San Francisco. All right, guys. Here's the thing. Why don't we want a grift where you give me money and then Cloud still has to pay for himself to go to this? How's that for a grift? How's that for a grift? We'll do a tier where we have to cross thresholds. And if we get to the proper thresholds, Cloud has to go to this, but he still has to pay for it for himself. I get all the money for doing nothing. How's that for a grift? How's that for a grift? I'd be okay with that. Screwing over Cloud. Because here's why I think it was okay, because you would all be happy with me screwing over Cloud. You'd all be fine with it. It wouldn't matter. Everything announced at the 2025 Pokemon World Championships. Huge multi-day Pokemon fan event was just announced. Yeah. I kind of want to do this more. Pokemon Champions will replace Scarlet and Violet at the Pokemon World Championships next year. 2025 Pokemon World's VGC champion achieves historic first. Okay. And of course, we talked about this today, R.I.P. Terrence Stamp. We will all kneel before Zod in a moment of silence, or we all did. All right, Park Place. And we already saw this. Let's see. Nothing really interesting going on here. Marvel abandons Georgia for London. Disney puts American jobs at risk as Trump considers tariffs on movies filmed overseas. I'm still not sure how that would happen. That's a very strange threat. He said that before. I don't know how that would work, honestly. Point is, though, good job, Disney. Way to support American jobs. Let's see. Anything else here? Nothing looking interesting. We'll scroll down a little bit. Six Flags CEO to step down amid declines of attendance, rising promotions, a recent merger. Yeah. Writers Guild wants to organize podcasts. Yeah, listen, I heard about that over the weekend. Ain't no way they're going to unionize us YouTubers. Fuck unions. Fuck unions. Fuck them all. Good luck. Good luck. All right, there's the news. I'm sticking to it. You guys know the drill. We'll see what happens. If there's anything on there you want me to go over. Let's check Stream Elements. All right, nothing to watch yet. Nothing. Nobody wants to watch anything. All right, let me have a drink. Let me see if there's anything on my mind. We can continue with here. Because it's only been 40 minutes. We can go a little longer. Here's the thing. I don't think Cloud would survive watching The Godfather. I don't think he'd survive. I just don't. I don't at all. That's a rough feat. All right, let me check let me see if I bookmarked anything we could talk about. See, here's the problem. Some of these things, most of these things are for Mellow Mondays tonight. They are not for us for discussions here. I don't really need that anymore. Get rid of that. Yeah, that's for tonight. That's for tonight. Don't really need that anymore either. I already mentioned that. No, I'll say I can still bring it up maybe if I remember. But now we're getting to really old stuff here. So, I'm going to get rid of that. It's not even a story anymore. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there's nothing there. Nothing there. All right. We need help. Here's the thing. If you guys aren't interested in anything, and if I don't of course, when I talk about, I do have a segment. War of the World. Almost see my mind didn't want to go there. War of the Worlds 2025. I almost forgot. That's how bad it was. My mind tried to protect me. Okay. All right. Here it is. Here we go. Chat made me watch this reviews. War of the World 2025. Let me just make this. Here we go. Image file. Where is it? Where is it? I didn't look at what. There it is. This is it. No, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. Where is it? I saved the picture. What's it called? Hang on. What's it called? Oh, it didn't save proper. God damn it. All right, hang on a second. The image I was going to use didn't save properly. Let me go back and get it again. Some of those websites, when you go to Google Image and you just try to drag it off, they have this thing where it's protected and it doesn't create the file that you had. So I need to go back and get the one I had, the one I liked that I saw. Here we go. This is the one I wanted. Fuck you, Empire, for making me do it like this because you're dumb. All right, let's start it here. Is it working? No, it's not. Oh, God damn it. All right, here we go. Gonna have to do it like this then. All right, and now I have to go here. I'm sorry. This is I didn't notice that it didn't save properly when I did that. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so chat made me watch this reviews is back for War of the Worlds 2025. All right. So we know by now this movie was made during the coup. It was made during COVID, which explains why nobody's actually in the same room together at all. Of course, it's an adaptation of a story, a movie that has been done many times. The classic version is, we're attacked by aliens, we can't beat them, and then as soon as they try to emerge from their spaceships, our atmosphere kills them. Something in our atmosphere kills them, and that's how we win. This movie is retarded. This movie centers around Ice Cube's character, whose name I already don't remember. He's a top monitor at the Department of Homeland Security. He's one of the people who's watching you through cameras. It shows that he can commandeer any camera or drone or everything around everything. And on this day where he's basically going about his business, trying to stop this super hacker called the Disruptor, who wants to leak the information of a government program called Goliath, which is taking all your information. He's trying to get down, but meanwhile, he's busy following his daughter, who's like 9 months pregnant, with whose baby daddy is an Amazon delivery driver. And she works in science. She's STEM. She's the coincidentally perfect biologist to help them solve the problems they have. And anyways, he's doing that stuff. His wife has been dead for 4 years. He's living the past. He's holding on too hard to his kids, and they push back. And he doesn't have a good relationship with his kids. He works too hard. He's friends with this NASA weather chick, Eva Longoria, and I don't know if that's what NASA does with chicks who are storm chasers who go out on the ground. I don't know if that's what they do. I'm pretty sure they don't. He also has FBI friends. He gets read in on all these things and on all these important government things while abusing his power to track his children and hack things around his kids. Anyway, so everything should be normal day. They're tracking down, but then suddenly there's these atmospheric weather anomalies, and then there's a meteor shower, and the meteors are actually the aliens and their giant tripod mechs, which looks terrible. And it's essentially it all happens in like a day. All this happens in literally a couple of hours, which is seemingly retarded because there's so many logistical problems that happen in what goes on in this movie. So, long story short, the alien invasion, it looks like they're going for key energy, stuff like that, but in fact they're actually trying to hunt down data resources, because it turns out that Roswell Area 51 for the past 70 years has been all about these aliens, and the government knew that they wanted data. So they've been lying to the world all along by collecting your data and leaving it as an all-you-can-eat buffet for these things who apparently evolve when they eat data, because they're a hybrid of man and machine, power extreme. They have blood in their nanocircuitry, which doesn't make any fucking sense with the way the movie has them deal with it. And what you have, I mean, Kratos says it perfectly right here. The expressions of Ice Cube, it's him looking at the screen, making different expressions, behaving like Ice Cube when things happen, and everybody just talking to the screen. So, all right, I want to get through the story, and then I'm going to complain about all its problems. So the world tries to rally. They try to fight back, but then when the aliens infect and hack into the data hubs. They manage to shut down all the electronics in all the war machines. So then they need to protect Goliath, which happens to be under the DHS building that he's in, but he can't get he has to fight there to get to it through running with the phone and hacking doors as they go. It's terrible. Here's the thing, though. So Agent Coulson, who's the FBI director, is like our big bad who wants to control all your government information, all the public's information. And here's the problem with that. He's the FBI director holding dominion over the Department of Homeland Security. That's not how it works. Where's the director of DHS in any of this? There's no director of DHS represented. Here's the problem. This movie doesn't understand how the structure of the agencies work and who they all report to. So they have all these things going on, but they don't know how any of it works. I've studied this shit. I know the pyramid on what it looks like. The FBI director running the Department of Homeland Security like that's not how it works. There's no way DHS would let them build their thing in the sub basement of DHS headquarters. Anyway, so in the end, it was so obvious the son was the hacker disruptor. It was so obvious because Dad, I need to tell you something. No, I can't talk to you, son. I can't talk to you. You play video games too much. And there's so many problems with this. Anyway, so in the end, after aliens find Goliath, they're heading there. They're going to bomb the DHS building, who apparently Ice Cube's the only person in there. Apparently Ice Cube is the only person in the entire DHS building. He's the only person there. There's nobody else there. It makes no sense. Nobody's there. So he manages to work with his family and the Amazon delivery driver, who's the baby daddy. They need to get a thumb drive to him because Genius' daughter, who works in biology, whose grievous leg wound at her thigh was stopped with packing tape because the Amazon delivery driver baby daddy is an expert at packing tape. That's how they stop the bleeding, and she's fine. The son is, of course, a super hacker. He went in on it was a Sunday? Was it a Sunday? There would still be people there, I think. I think there would still be people there. If it was a Sunday, I missed that it was a Sunday. Point is, though, it's still retarded. It is inconceivable to me that he's the only person in the building. There would still be security. There would still be security in the building. Either way. So the thing is that he doesn't have a thumb drive because they wouldn't allow him to bring a thumb drive in there because, of course, giant information hub. So in order to upload a virus to Goliath that will overload both the nanite part of the machines of the aliens and their biological DNA part. So they magically create a virus, a rabbit virus. You know, for those who don't understand, rabbit is a rabbit virus is it's a multiplication virus that overloads a system, and then that's old school hacker shit. And they tried that and it didn't work, so then they have to make a hybrid. Here's what doesn't make sense though. How do they program in a biological thing to a biological aspect to the data? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. But they managed to upload it to a thumb drive that Amazon delivery driver has, and then he flies it on a drone to the DHS building. And I'll get back to that. Talk about that in a moment. And during that point, though, while they're doing that, it falls, and what looks like a homeless guy. It's clearly a homeless man who's been living in a tent, a homeless man with a cell phone. And they eventually give him $1,000 in Amazon gift to
flip the drone over so it can keep flying. It's what the fuck? So, and eventually they get it in there and they save it. And of course, at that point, they had discovered that, as I said, Agent Coulson, against the wishes of other government agencies and government officials, went forward with this project, and they leaked it to the world. And Ice Cube felt betrayed. Here's how dumb Ice Cube is as a character. He finds out that Agent Coulson is the big bad, the director of the FBI that was doing this Goliath project against everybody's wishes. He literally confronts him. He confronts him, says, I know you did it. I know you did it. You lied to me. So what do you think he does? He fires him and revokes his access. That is, yes, go. First of all, the FBI director would not be able to revoke somebody's access at DHS. That's not how it works. That would be it should have been the director of DHS, not the director of the FBI. That's how stupid the writers are of this movie. But the idea that I discovered you did this, and now I'm going to confront you, the person who can, I guess, revoke all my clearances and access to programs, and he gets shut out and only gets back in because Hacker's son is so good he can hack in. Would you like to play a game? Oh, stop me now. Yeah, let's do this. And then in a blink of an eye, a man who's devoted his life to monitoring the public for enemy threats suddenly is a hacktivist now. Now he's a hacktivist. Down with the government. I mean, this movie is, of course, playing on the fact that the government does monitor and collect all our information, and they are on a daily basis infringing on our privacy rights. But they're glorifying retards in this sense. They're glorifying retards. Because at that point, Hacker's son brings in Ice Cube to his collective, and one of the guys actually goes, man, Disruptor, you said this is our safe space. Stop. All right, you're getting to my point, Kratos. Okay, Kratos makes a good point. In order to get this done, the hackers say, we want a free ride. We want what's the word? Shit. What's the word? Shit, I just forgot the word. I'm talking so quickly, I forgot the word. We want immunity. We want immunity for this. And he says, yeah, fine, I'll do it. Now, here's a problem. Moments before, literally hours before, when the world... Okay, let's jump back in time. Get in the Wayback Machine. The world, when the president of the United States gave the go-ahead for the War of the Worlds and everybody attacked, the entire world instantly mobilized in minutes and attacked in unison. The tripods all around the world. And they were winning until the tripods hacked and shut everything down. All right, there's two problems with this. One, everybody knows at this point that these things are tracking them. They're digital. We already knew they had been monitoring satellite communications, which means they're in the system. They're watching your feed. The news is literally reporting all the movements of every single army around the world. They're all gathering here. Are you kidding me? That is dumb. But then after everything gets hacked and all the gears of war grind to a halt, how is everything still working? We had already seen the aliens had hacked everything and was shutting everything down. How are they still online? And then later on, how do they launch the B-2 bombers that are going to bomb the DHS headquarters? They forget their own shit. None of this makes sense. It doesn't make sense that any infrastructure is still running at this point. It's retarded. If running believe that the government are, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, we know these things are going on, and I was thinking about this last night. There were ways they could have made this movie actually work. One, better acting, and nobody does a good job in this movie at all. What this movie is exactly here's how I saw this movie. This movie is like a bad late 90s, early 2000s I'm sorry, late 80s, no, mid 90s to mid to late 90s, early 2000s video game where all your characters are interacting over view screens and you're piloting something. That's what this movie is like. They essentially turn into a video game at one point because that's what it is when they're using the drone to shoot down the flying saucer sections of the tripods. So I mean, this whole movie is a mess, and even though you should want to support somebody calling out whistleblowing government bad behavior, I don't support this family. They're a bunch of retards. This family are retards because, again, at the end of the movie, after they survive all this, it looks like he's been made director of DHS. And then he says, and then they want him to start a new non-invasive information collecting program. And he says, no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm the one watching you. What? How? I mean, they make it as though that. Listen. Again, I am not for the government collecting all our information and invading our privacy. But I'm also not going to celebrate a bunch of hacktivists who are fucking retarded and then are celebrated. This movie celebrates hacktivism. Hacktivism is dumb. These are pampered idiots literally hiding in their basements, looking for their safe spaces. They who want to hack the planet and all that kind of shit. I mean, at least in the movie Hackers, it was amusing, and it was just about like a single thing about financial gain. This that wasn't hacktivism. That was financial gain and fucking with people. This, I mean, they did it for the lulz. The hacktivism is not for the lulz. It's we're making a point. I'm calling out all this stuff. I'm a better person than everybody. I hate that, and that's why I don't like these people. And have them painted as these world glorious idols now. After this whole thing is done, where he can look at the eye of, I guess that was the I guess he was the White House chief of staff. I think that's what he was. Says, no, I'm watching you, y'all. I'm going to watch you. You better look out. I'm going to go now to my baby's baby shower. My daughter's baby shower. I'm going to that. And in there somewhere, they attempted a family story in this somewhere where he's a good dad that went too far. No, he didn't go too far. He was worried about his kids. But at the same time, his kids are dicks. The daughter literally woman-splains him. No, Dad. At one point, she's like, you've gone too far. You have to understand. I need to do this. I need to do that. While he's trying to save her from bleeding out. This family is retarded, and they should not be held as heroes or praised as anything. They're dumb. They're dumb. And I don't like anybody in this movie. And then, of course, because she ran around on the ground, Ava Longoria's NASA chick gets made head of NASA. There's no rhyme or reason to why anything happens in this. It's all dumb. It's all dumb. Gotta be the racisms. I'm the racisms. All I'm saying is this movie makes no sense. It's cringe as hell. It's terribly written, terribly portrayed, and once again, talking about government invasion of our privacy is an important subject matter, but they trivialize it. I think that's where I was looking for. They trivialize it in this movie, and having an Amazon worker save the day with the future of Amazon delivery, where they're going to fly the drugs. This is made during COOF, so they thought we were going to have to exist where nobody could get near each other. You have to fly everything on a drone to your house. Never happened. Isn't going to happen because that shit gets shot down. You realize things flying on a drone, somebody will shoot that shit down and steal your shit. It's going to happen. That's a good way to put it. He man, going to save the planet through a combination with loin spawn, who are all just best of everything at their job, and an Amazon delivery guy, and working with Eva Longoria, running around, not dying in all these situations somehow. This movie's a disaster, and it's just dumb, and it's a horrible take on War of the Worlds. I'm not saying Tom Cruise's movie's any better, but at least it tried to stick true to the original idea. This is just dumb. And the idea that an alien species wants to feed on the data. What? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And everybody who's involved in this should feel shame for what they created. And it literally is Ice Cube just looking at a screen for an hour and 30. Well, for me, it was less than that because I watched it at 1.5 times speed. Once again, I will talk about that now. I cannot imagine anybody watching this at normal speed because I watched it at 1.5 times speed and I still understood every single word that's being said. Because anybody that knows, sometimes when you want to watch something quickly, in a normal movie, it'll be talking like this. You can't understand what they're saying. I understood everything being said in this movie at 1.5 times speed. It felt impossible to me to think that at normal speed, everything must have been moving so slowly. They must have been talking so slowly, must have been moving so slowly to have it feel like a 1.5 speed actually moving normally. This movie is a chore to watch and get through. Oh yeah, and it's a good point, Kratos. They don't seem to understand that nothing's deleted. Nothing's deleted. Once it's out there, it's there. It's somewhere. Saved in something. That's not how deletion works. And what I loved about this also is the way they kept trying to tell us that Facebook was relevant. Facebook wasn't relative 4 years ago. It's not relevant now. Stop telling me Facebook is relevant. It was so dumb. It would have made sense if they'd been using X. It would have made sense if they'd been using Instagram or shit like that. But Facebook isn't relevant. It's not better than Rings of Power. No, it's not. Rings of Power, for all its ills, at least it has something. This is nonsense. Rings of Power is its own special category of nonsense, but this is also nonsense. But it's people thinking they're smart. The problem with this movie is that they think they're really smart with how they wrote this. They think they're shouting out, "Damn the man. Damn the man, damn the government." They think they're doing a good job of that, but they're trivializing it. They think they're making hacktivist folk heroes, but they're not. It's just a bunch of a very annoying family who are really fucking narcissists with their beliefs. Very narcissistic and prideful with their beliefs. And this thing is dumb from beginning to end, and it's cringe. None of it makes sense. And this is the reason why it's being panned right now. So there you go. I don't know what else I could say about this. War of the Worlds 2025. God help us. They thought they were going to actually make movies like this for a while and that people would actually sit down and watch this. There's a reason it was hidden for 3 years and finally released. Just get it out to be done. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Until next time with whatever you guys make me watch. All right, there it is. There it was. You got my my review of War of the Worlds 2025. How does it compare to The Room, though? I still like The Room more because The Room is at least The Room knows it's bad. They actually thought with this movie they made something good. They actually thought that. I mean, she's bleeding out from a thigh wound, and they're going to seal it up with packing tape. Don't worry, I'm an expert. And how does that dinky little drone that they were flying to the DHS, there is no way that thing survived its crash landing. That thing was flimsy as fuck. There's no way it survived its crash landing. Room undefeated. Room undefeated. All right. If we don't have anything else today, I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to go about editing clips from other streams to put up videos. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. Thank you, guys. What's on the recipe menu? What's on the menu for the rest of the day? Stay tuned for clips from Roundtable if you missed that. I'm going to get to work on those as soon as we're done here. Tonight, we do have Mellow Mondays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll do our best to provide you more entertainment there. Tomorrow, there will be gaming. I don't know what the rest of the week holds. We'll see what happens. Hopefully things happen this week that we can talk about. That's my hope. We'll see what happens. Either way. All right, guys. Go to community tab, submit your vote. I will be handing it off to somebody tomorrow, and we'll get that pulled up for you guys before the week is over, so you guys will vote on it. So that not this weekend, but next weekend, we will do chat choice for the quarter on Saturday Night Drive-In. All right. Thank you, guys. You everybody take it easy. I will catch you guys later on tonight with Mel Mondays.